beginning of turn 5. The Americans and the Russians have outbid everyone and have chosen to go at the top of the order. The Americans use that opportunity to avoid a pin in A7 as the Italians brought their fleet in along with the German 38th, 39th, and Italian 114th for a potential invasion of England. The English 60th also had orders to move to A6 but chose to cancel them, choosing to stay home and defend. The American 19th is bombing Germany, which has been left unprotected. Russia continues to advance into the German Eastern Front. The Italians continue their march into Africa, creating two hotspots on that continent, the English territory slowly disappearing. Japan has launched an attack into a reinforced India, having superior numbers along with a significant air force. In addition, they are moving to finish off China, attacking the last Chinese infantry in C5. The Japanese 97th has landed on the mainland and continues to threaten Russia, along with a scary number of Japanese troops in Japan. The Japanese fleet has moved into P13 to destroy the British 68th that has been left alone in the water. The Allied Navy having moved to P17, anticipating combat there, supported by the American 13th. The British 80th has moved into P16, seeking some Japanese islands to invade. The two other hotspots in the Pacific are the Allies attacking New Guinea and the Americans attacking the Marianas, which is undefended. The U.S. Pacific remains unchanged and quiet, and we will see how these battles resolve. Okay, here is the results of turn 5 combat. The Italian Navy sank the British battleship in A7. They lost a cruiser and a submarine in the process. The German 38th and Italian 114th are poised to invade England potentially next turn. The U.S. bombing run managed to destroy some troops under construction in Germany. The hotspots in Europe remain unresolved. However, the Germans lost a significant number of troops in both territories, managing to defend the Baltics, but failing to retake the Ukraine, leaving Russia with a large occupying force. In Africa, the Italian combat went as expected, with no English resistance. The Italians suffered no losses. The British managed to keep control of India. The 45th reduced to a single artillery unit. The Japanese eliminate the last of China's forces and take the last of Chinese territory. Technically, China is not out of the game yet. However, they are now on a clock moving down the stress wheel toward elimination. In the Pacific, the Japanese managed to defend New Guinea, the Allies failing to bring enough commands to take the northern half of the island. The American 64th takes the Marianas without losses, and the 13th Air Command consolidates there. And perhaps the most important event this turn is Germany entering economic collapse, having suffered a significant number of casualties this turn in Europe. Okay, here are the orders and hotspots for turn 6. The Italian Navy has pinned the Allied Navy in A6. However, the American 51st has orders to disembark into England, which they are allowed to do, and the Axis has invaded England as expected. We have three hotspots along the Eastern Front. Germany has reinforced the Baltics in an effort to secure it. However, they have given up trying to retake the Ukraine. In Africa, Italy continues on their march, moving the 110th into B10. Japan will likely take India this turn, as only the 45th remains. Russian and Italian forces zigged and zagged, missing each other in R9 and R10 respectively, however creating two new hotspots. The English 80th invades J10, going for that 3 spot of oil resources. This long-awaited naval combat in the Pacific is finally going to happen as the Japanese fleet meets the combined Allied fleet. That nearest stack of air commands is actually an Allied air command, so that will be quite a battle. The Japanese 76 invades B-25 that has been left undefended. We can see that Japan continues to move forces onto the Russian eastern coastline. And in a surprise move, Japan moves the 44th and 92nd into the Pacific, headed toward perhaps the United States. We'll have to wait and see. Okay, here are the results of turn 6 combat. The Axis powers have taken England for the second time, dealing the English Empire a devastating blow to their stress levels. Italian and American navies continue to fight each other in A6, with the Americans having an invasion force in the water. The hot spots on the European Eastern Front resolved as expected, with Germany securing the Baltics and Russia securing the Ukraine, each with a significant amount of troops. The Italian dominance of the African continent continues, with Italian forces easily taking South Africa without any losses. Japan easily conquers India and builds a stack of reinforcements there. And the long-awaited Battle of the Pacific was a bloody affair, with large numbers of casualties on all sides. The English actually ended the battle with a surviving carrier and a cruiser remaining on the battle board. However, being in economic collapse and having no income, they had no resources and were unable to repair either ship. It turns out that it wouldn't matter anyway, as England accumulated enough stress during the turn to knock them 2 spaces backwards on the stress wheel, forcing all of the remaining troops into mass desertion, officially eliminating them from the game.